I'm not gonna be one to say that the American dream is dead. I'm an optimistic person. Um, I think America is always gonna be a country about hustle. So you can always come over to America and hustle and come up in a way you can't do in other countries. So that's always going to keep people coming here from other places, and you're always going to be able to hear some kind of rags to riches story here in America. So the American dream isn't dead. It's just not available to the same amount of people as it was back then, because back then you could have a mediocre job pretty much, or an average job, and still be able to feed a family, go to church on Sundays, travel, have two cars, white picket fence, whatever. People were living decent lives on $9-10 an hour in the 70s, probably. Now 15, 16. Now you can be making $22, $23 an hour and barely be able to afford an apartment. That should tell you everything you need to know about the American dream. College used to be, a thing where if like you go to school for a couple of years and stuff like that, do your thing, get some skills, you can be ahead of the pack. Now kids are coming out of college and working in jobs that they didn't even need the degree for. A lot of kids are just graduating and they're giving their parents their degree because they were just doing it for their parents. They realized halfway through their college career that they realized the scams. It's just too expensive now. Nowadays it's not common for people to not be. It's for people nowadays. You see more people not married. You got 3 or 4 people, being roommates in the house. People ain't starting families. You rarely, almost never see 2-parent families. I mean, they say there's more of it now than there has been the last couple of years, but still overall, it's still far away from where it was when the American dream was really something. I mean, the value of family has been taken away. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody values family no more. Family and ownership. Those are the things that made America great. But now we don't have families and nobody owns nothing. So what are we supposed to be taking pride in? You know what I'm saying? A 37-year-old man back in the day, he had a family and stuff like that. He was thriving. He had a home. All this stuff. Now, man, you might be 37, still living at home with your parents, or living 3-4 deep with, workmates, people you work with and stuff like that. All y'all commuting and paying, rent and stuff like that. Just splitting bills together. It's so much of that now. Used to have Thanksgiving dinner and Christmas dinner. Now it's Friendsgiving. Friendsgiving is way more popular. Everything has just changed. So the American dream now is you pretty much gotta define it yourself. Whereas back then it was the white picket fence thing, the 2, cars, 2-car garage, house in the suburbs, all that, 4 or 5 kids. That's too far out of reach for most people. So now you have to define your American dream. A lot of people now, it's just, hopefully I can get off the 9 to 5 and make that same money in an entrepreneurial way. That's a lot of people's American dream now. It's can I escape the rat race? If things aren't going to, get back to at least where the prices and stuff match up to the dream, at least can I find something that makes that kind of money and I can leave the rat race. Everybody has their own version of happiness nowadays. It's different, and than it was then, and it's only going to get more expensive out here, and things are going to get farther away than what they were. So people are really going to be behind out here looking at the American dream like they looked at it in '79. You know, you're a fool if you're a millennial or a Gen Z and your American dream is the same version of the American dream that it was in '82. It's not that no more. And so you need to stop listening to your parents and them telling you, hey, go get this and go get that and this will happen. And they know things don't work the way it worked in their day anymore also. And that's why they're glad that a lot of them are older and, you know, closer to getting benefits and things like that you probably ain't never going to get. Shoot, man, in the next couple of years, man, it's already looking like that. But you got people that are 56 working at McDonald's. Ain't nobody gonna be able to afford to retire no more. Unless some kind of miracle happens, you figure something out, you know, you really get on it. Most people, the average worker, is gonna be working their whole life. You know what I'm saying? You're seeing it now all the time. You know, people older and older working at jobs that back in the day were considered kid jobs. You know what I mean? There is so many millennials and Gen X that are bumping Gen Z out of the job market because they have to survive. And they're going to get in 2 and 3 of these 15 an hour jobs trying to make ends meet for one household. There's no room for that old American dream. So again, we got to define it for ourselves, whatever that means to each and every person. You know what I'm saying? But it damn sure ain't that same thing that they were talking about years back. And the quicker you can accept that is the quicker you can adapt. All the things I keep deep down inside, and there ain't no escaping it this time. Nowhere to hide. Singing songs out loud.